The Story of Josanna. By Eric Hua. Chapter 5, Unknown Wanderer. During the day, the forest beyond Haven was quite peaceful and teeming with wildlife. The environment it gave off made Josanna question how dangerous the place could get. But when the sun began to set and nightfall took over, she felt a complete shift in the atmosphere. In the night, the darkness cloaked the entire forest. Eerie noises could be heard throughout and all the animals had disappeared. It was not a place for lonely travelers to wander. Thankfully, Josanna had the company of Hammer. She was already quite confident in her abilities, but it is always reassuring to have an extra ally. Thinking it would be unwise to travel during the night, she found an area to set up a campfire. She figured it would be much safer to rest during parts of the night to regain her energy since it was too difficult to see through the darkness. In the middle of her sleep, Josanna was woken up by Hammer. He stood guard while she was resting until he sensed something ominous approaching towards them. Immediately, he gently scratched her nose to wake her from her sleep.
Hammer! What is it that can't wait for another hour?
She was reluctant to get up initially until she heard a noise that couldn't be ignored. She gathered all her equipment and moved towards the sound. As she got closer, she could hear wailing in that direction. There were people within the forest, but something was causing them great agony. Josanna attempted to rush over to see if she could help, but suddenly she heard something moving swiftly through the bushes. Before she could identify what was lurking there, something came dashing out to attack her. Without any time to react, Josanna was knocked unconscious and she would have no recollection of what happened next. After some time, Josanna regained consciousness and she found Hammer fast asleep on her shoulder. She surveyed around to find she was covered in a blanket and in a small cave. Someone had brought her here and kept her safe.
Finally decided to wake up?
Josanna was startled by the voice. She couldn't believe she didn't notice a cloaked man sitting near the fire. He handed a bowl of grub to her, but she thought twice before taking things from a random stranger.
You seem like the type who has a hard time accepting gifts from others.
Josanna had no reply, but the aroma of the food caused Hammer to spring from his slumber and rush towards the food. It was after seeing Hammer eat with such fervor that Josanna took the bowl too.
So what's a creepy man doing out here in the forest?
Oh, you talk a big game for someone who needed my help not too long ago.
Josanna was momentarily confused until she recalled the night she was attacked in the forest. She realized that this man must have helped her. That grew her curiosity and made her ask,
Have you saved anyone else? Like a strong warrior woman who rides a horse?
What do I look like? A good Samaritan who goes around saving people.
Josanna was disappointed by his answer. She was hoping the man would mention someone who fit Esther's description, but there wasn't. After allowing her some time with her thoughts, the man asked why Josanna was wandering the forest alone. Not wanting to go into the details, Josanna explained how she was here to slay the creature in the forest to ensure no one else from her village would be harmed. That was when the man bursted into laughter and Josanna took offense to it.
What? You don't think I'm strong enough to face whatever is lurking in this forest?
Oh, you are plenty strong. I have no doubt about that.
Then what do you find so funny?
Because you think there is a beast within this forest. Seriously, I think you have been told too many myths and fairy tales.
But the thing that struck me the other night.
Tell me, did you actually see what hit you?
That was when Josanna realized that it was far too dark to see during the night.
Why don't you try to catch one of those creatures later tonight? After you do that, you will begin to unravel some of the mysteries of what is happening here. Who knows, you might even discover your true identity. Josanna.
His last sentence caught her full attention, and she immediately looked up, but the man had vanished without a trace. She was left with so many questions, but what bugged her most was how the man knew her name, as she never revealed it to him. But without any way to track him down, she focused her effort in preparing to capture one of the dark figures with night approaching.